Hi, and welcome to This Week in East Brunswick, the Township's news and information program. Today we'll recap last weekend's holiday festivities in town, including the Memorial Day observance and the opening of the community beach. We'll look in on the Senior Citizen Center's 4th anniversary celebration and learn about the Animal Rescue Force, a pet adoption agency. Peggy Ballister-Howells will discuss growing ferns, while consumer advocate Adrian Eisner has suggestions about selecting a contractor. Finally, our council review will summarize Tuesday's cable franchise renewal hearing. First, our Channel 8 schedule for next week. Monday at 10 a.m., Lenore Kulik offers aerobics and toning with light weights on Look Great, Feel Great, followed by stories read by East Brunswick librarians. Monday night at 7 p.m., watch Store Cable franchise renewal hearing in its entirety. Tuesday evening at 7, In Print features author John Katzenbach. Next, at 7:30, learn about Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital's lithotripter, a machine to treat kidney stones. At 8, You and Your Money unscrambles the life insurance dilemma. Business Bylines with John Runyon spotlights the Institute for Management and Technical Development at Middlesex County College at 8:30. Wednesday evening at 7:30, Spotlight on Education has the story of East Brunswick High School's silver medalists, followed at 8 by Growing Up in East Brunswick and a discussion of drugs, alcohol, and teens. Next Thursday at 7 and 8, we'll be back with another edition of This Week in East Brunswick. Psychology in Action can be seen at 7:30 Thursday evening. Now let's join Dolly Vasta and Karen Burke at the Township Memorial Day celebration.
Hi, I'm Dolly Vasta, Arts Coordinator.
And I'm Karen Burke, Manager of Recreation for East Brunswick Township.
Right, and this is This Week in East Brunswick. It is an absolutely glorious Memorial Day 88.
Right.
We have had a great ceremony that started at 1 o'clock this afternoon, didn't we?
Right. A lot of people there to help the veterans along to celebrate their day.
That's right. And behind us, I'm sure you can hear the Molasses Hill Band, which is just strumming and twanging away.
Having a good time.
They certainly are. You know, I thought maybe some of the people who have come to East Brunswick within the last year or two might want to know a little history and why we are doing it this way now.
Good. All right.
Okay, it kind of started back in '82.
Right.
And there used to be a parade, from what I understand.
That's right.
And it, for some reason or other, didn't seem to be working out any longer.
Well, what happened really was we had more marchers than we did lookers. And so we thought that we should regroup and try to reach more people. So we came up with this idea with having the ceremony here, having kind of a mini parade with the veterans and the scouts, etc., and the Elks Club come down and support. It's really a neat day. And then we've started this picnic, and every year it's grown and grown and grown.
It certainly has, and we've gotten, for the past 3 years now, we've had all afternoon entertainment.
That's right. Molasses Hill Band is here today, and they're great.
They certainly are. So, listen, I'm going to go have a hot dog. What about you?
Well, I'm going to go watch the kids play some games.
Oh, that's right. And then we've got, in fact, they're suiting up right now.
Right.
We've got a couple characters coming in from Great Adventure.
Yeah, Sylvester.
Sylvester.
Right, and
Bugs Bunny.
And Bugs Bunny.
That's
So,
right.
You know, if you missed it this year, put it on your calendar for next year. Okay?
See ya.
Bye.
come cheap. Over 200 years ago, a group of people had a vision of freedom. They turned that vision into this wonderful country of ours. But that vision hasn't come cheap, because over the years, men and women have lost their lives in order to keep that freedom alive for each of us. Each of us this weekend was able to go to our synagogue or our church as we chose, or not go if we chose. We're able to assemble here today in this gathering without restriction, without receiving approval from anybody, and those are just some and part of the freedoms we enjoy. You know, I have the feeling today that in the world we may be closer to that lasting peace that all of us have sought for so many years than ever before. As the world has shrunk, as the countries of the world realize that we're all very close together, we're only 20 minutes away by missile, we're finally seeing some evidence that the leaders of the world are able to sit down and talk about the end to the threat of mutual destruction. But that doesn't come easy either, because if we didn't have a strong defense, we didn't have the thousands of committed men and women in our armed forces today, there would be no motivation to sit down and talk about peace. So today, as we think about the cost of our freedom over the years, and as we think about the prospect of peace in our time, which I believe is a real prospect, during the next few minutes, as we go through the rituals and ceremonies of this Memorial Day observance, I hope that it will remind each and every one of us of those who've gone before us, who've sacrificed their very lives to make it possible for us to enjoy our freedom.
Hello, my name is Art McEnany. I'm the coordinator of the East Brunswick Community Beach, and I'd like to take advantage of this opportunity to welcome you to yet another summer. Those of you that are not familiar with the Community Beach, it's located on Dunham's Corner Road. We have a number of areas to our facilities, and right behind me is just one of them, the basketball court. We have 3 different designated swimming areas, one being the adult section, an intermediate section, as well as a kiddie area. We have a playground area right off to my right for the youngsters. We have volleyball courts, and we also have our swimming lanes. There's a number of different programs that are going to be conducted via the beach, through the beach, in conjunction with some other departments with the recreation. We are sponsoring 2 Met games. We are also having our 88 summer concert series again, and we also sponsor a swim team. The Sandpipers, and that's being head up this year again by Emmy Phillips and Amy Ford. We are still taking sign-ups for that. Any youngster wishing to swim competitively, please don't hesitate to come down here. We're also obviously just opening up for the summer. We're still taking our memberships. There are 2 separate schedule fees, one being resident, one being non-resident. For any information, don't hesitate to call us down here or perhaps call the rec office. At this time, again, I'd like to extend an offer to invite all of you down here, either finishing up of next weekend or when we go full-time sometime in June. I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Schachter of East Brunswick's Office on Aging. Welcome to our 4th anniversary party and the end of our Senior Citizens Month programming. We're also celebrating the 13th anniversary of the Senior Citizens Program in the Township of East Brunswick, which has blossomed from meeting in a church meeting room, about 10 or 12 people a day, to a daily program 6 days a week, which involves membership of over 3,000. You can hear the band in the background. They're tuning up for our music and dancing. And we will be having catered lunch today, served by volunteers from the East Brunswick Women's Club. The music is provided by the Musicians Performance Trust Fund and Local 204 of New Brunswick. We'll also have entertainment by our own Senior Citizens Men's Chorus. As you look around the room, you may see some young ladies in blue and white uniforms. They are from the local vocational school, East Brunswick VOTAC, and they're doing blood pressures and answering health questions for the senior citizens. They do this as a service project. We have lots of things coming up in the month of June, and among them are a chorus by some of the children in the local schools, registration for an overnight trip to Connecticut, the mental health players from Rutgers University doing comedy skits, a trip to New York to cruise on the river and stop at South Street Seaport, and a visit to Princeton's Forestall Village. I'd like you to meet some of our senior citizens who participate in the program and can talk to you a little more about it. First, I'd like you to meet Irma Gebhardt, who is an active member of our senior citizen group. Irma's daughter is a member of the Women's Club, whose ladies are here serving our lunch today and who serve at all of our parties. Irma, would you like to tell us a little bit about your...
Well, all I have to say is that we have a lovely staff. We have tremendous trips where I always go and I'm present, and I'm very happy to be a member.
I'd also like you to meet Hiram Mangieri. Hi is a member of our men's choral singing group. As you can see, he's ready to perform this afternoon. Hi, would you like to tell us a little bit about your involvement with the center?
Why, I certainly would. I generally don't give out my age, but about 10 years ago, I walked into the library and I met Doreen. And Doreen says, hey, what, can I help you? I said, yeah, maybe. She says, I said, I'd like to sign up for the senior center. She says, well, you know, you have to be 60 years old. And I said, oh, is that so? So from there on, I said, I thought I was 60 at the time, and so I got into the center, and I've been trying to do a couple of things here. I've met a lot of friends, which made me happy. I've got a beautiful staff here, which takes care of all our needs, I mean, Cynthia, you can't beat Cynthia. She does a top job no matter where. Takes us out to places like the Villa Roma and down at the racetrack where we make a lot of money. Now we're going to go to Highlight, we go here, we go everywhere, anywhere you want to go. Cynthia's always ready to take us there.
The men's chorus travels throughout the county, entertaining at senior centers, at nursing homes, and at hospitals. They are so joyous with their music, and of course they are the handsomest men in the county, and they make a big commotion, and they are a great success. We've had some very touching things happen. People in nursing homes who don't communicate, who haven't spoken for long periods of time, will start to sing along and join in as the men sing the old songs, and that's very gratifying to all of us.
Well, there's only one thing that I have to say at this time, Cynthia. As you know, we lost our leader.
Yes.
Which was a blow to us, and I'm a little emotional now because of it, but we would like to get a leader if we could, because we have no experience, musically, and we need somebody to direct us. We have a bunch of guys who have pretty good voices, with or without a beer, and we do pretty good.
Any of you men out there who are 60 years old or even younger and musically talented who would like to join us, the men rehearse every Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Hi, I'm Stuart Davis for This Week in East Brunswick, and today I'm at the Animal Rescue Force with Susan Ragland to talk about her organization.
Okay, Animal Rescue Force, which is ARF for short, has two booths, one at Route 18 and one at Route 1, where we adopt dogs and cats to people. It's, first of all, a place where people trying to find new homes for their dogs and cats can bring them for the day and leave them, and maybe they'll get adopted. And secondly, if people are looking to adopt a dog or a cat, they can find them.
How do you find this location at the Route 18 flea market?
It's very nice over here because the people here are very nice, and there are a lot of people here that I'm sure we weren't reaching over at our Route 1. And besides, we have an overflow of dogs that we really can use a booth like this for the extra dogs and cats that we have.
What's the purpose of the Animal Rescue Force?
It's to find good homes for unwanted dogs and cats, and also to educate the public as to hopefully cut down on the number of unwanted dogs and cats through the use of spaying and neutering, and also telling the owners how they can deal with some of the problems their dogs are having maybe that would make them want to give them up.
How serious is it if someone doesn't get their dog or cat spayed?
Well, if you don't get your dog spayed or neutered, for instance, we have a sign over here that says that if you have 4 kittens or puppies and none of them or their offsprings are spayed or neutered, it will result in 4,000 animals in the next 10 years. Was it 10, I think? So it's very important. Most of the litters of dogs and cats that are born end up at the animal shelters being put to sleep.
Now, is this a national group and you're just a chapter? Or?
No, this is just a local group. We have an office in East Brunswick, and then we have our 2 booths, one at Route 1 and Route 18 flea markets.
And how do you fund this organization?
It's funded only on donations, fundraising events. We collect money with our cans at both of the booths. We have a large fundraising effort in Highland Park, bingo at night on Monday night. And we sell raffle tickets from time to time and have other events.
Where is that, the bingo?
The bingo is at the Highland Park Bingo Hall, and it's on Monday nights.
And what type of animals do you have now to give away?
We have dogs and cats and kittens and puppies. It's kitten season right now, so there are a lot of kittens, there are a lot of puppies, but there are also a lot of unwanted adult animals who have been raised by 4 or 5 owners by now, maybe sometimes, and are really good pets and deserve another chance.
Why would a dog or cat have 4 or 5 owners?
People get dogs sometimes the way they get furniture, and then as soon as they find out that they have to walk them or they have to deal with any of their problems, they just give them up. And then maybe somebody else decides that they want them, and a lot of people just aren't really committed to the time it takes and the effort to really train a dog correctly and love it and keep it.
Why are you doing this on your weekends and on your spare time?
I really like animals, and I really like helping people, and it's really been a real interest in my life. I've been doing this for about 4 years, and I really enjoy it.
And how does an organization like this differ from the ASPCA or something like that?
Well, the ASPCA has an overhead because they have a shelter during the week. They have a lot more overhead costs than we do. They also have to deal with a large quantity of animals and have to euthanize animals because they have so many they can't possibly keep all of them. We don't have to deal with some of those unfortunate and costly things by just being around on the weekends. Now, some of us as volunteers keep some animals during the week at our homes, especially the ones that have been returned to us. So about half of our animals are those that are being harbored, and about half are from the public directly that are coming just from their homes. So if people have to get rid of a pet and have the time to maybe keep it an extra week or 2, then they won't have to burden the shelters with their animals and maybe can get them placed without having to take them to the shelters.
So if somebody has an animal and they really are not in a position to take care of it, what do they do? What should they do to get in touch?
They call us up. Our phone number is in the yellow pages or in the paper and in the ads. Animal Rescue Force, they make a reservation for Saturday and or Sunday. And they bring them up in the morning, leave a deposit, and come back at the end of the day and pick them up. It costs them $5 for the day.
And if you want to adopt one,
if you want to adopt a pet, you come and you're interviewed. We screen people very carefully to make sure that they've chosen a pet that we feel is good for them and that they would make a good home. And then there's a donation and a contract that they have to sign promising to spay and neuter the pet and to take it to the vet, and also promising to let us know if they cannot keep it, because we want to be responsible for the pets that we adopt.
Hi, this is Peggy Ballister-Howells, your Middlesex County agricultural agent with my good friend, the dwarf Boston fern. I've had this plant for a very, very long time, and I've only transplanted it once in about 7 or 8 years. Now, it needs some help. It's starting to shed little leaflets all over the place. So we're going to take it out of its hanger here. And we're going to do drastic surgery. Okay, it's got a little extra water in it. Watered it, so it's in good shape. But you can see that there's all this brown and that it's so far above the pot. So that's not going to work anymore. Okay, we've got it out of the pot. And this is the only way to do it. We're going to just saw it in half. So now we have 2 Boston ferns. To make matters even worse, we're going to saw off the top. It's the only way to get rid of all that dead stuff. You'd think it just joined the army or something. Okay, now, there's still plenty of roots, and the new shoots, you can see that there's just new shoots waiting to pop up if they just had room. So we have this pot here. We have some nice potting soil. Put that in like that, fill in around the sides, and it'll just be a matter of a couple of months with this nice spring sunshine, and it'll be just as beautiful as the old one was, only then we'll have 2. Now you want to press the soil down, but not pack it down too hard. When you're all done, you give it a good drink, give it some good sun. Don't put it in too intense sun, and don't put it out until you're sure that all danger of frost is past. And by the time you're ready to bring it in, it'll be as gorgeous a Boston fern as you could imagine. It's just a few months away. We'll see you next week here in my backyard.
Hello, and welcome to Consumer Aware. I'm Adrienne Eisner, Director of the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. You might be thinking about having your driveway resurfaced, but just haven't gotten around to calling contractors and getting estimates. And then your doorbell rings, and it is a person telling you that he is in your neighborhood and can give you a great price on doing your driveway. The offer may sound inviting, a good price, and no bother about making those telephone calls to the contractors. But if you say yes, there is a good chance your problems have just begun. You will probably find that the job will not be done to your satisfaction. And when you try to contact the contractor, you will have difficulty because he did not give you an address and he does not return your telephone calls. The contract you signed is very vague and gives no specifics about the job. You can avoid this type of problem if you take the time to investigate contractors before you hire someone to do work around your home. Here are some tips. Don't be taken in by an unbelievable bargain offer. Deal only with an established contractor. Get competing estimates. Ask for references. Try to see completed work. Check the complaint record with our office. Remember that the lowest price may not be the best choice. New Jersey law requires that there be a written contract for all home improvements costing more than $25. Before you sign the contract, check to see, does the heading clearly state the contractor's name, address, and telephone number? Is the date of the contract filled in? Is there a starting and completion date? Is there a description of the work to be done and the products to be used? Are all verbal promises listed? Are all warranties for labor and materials included? After you sign the contract, make sure that you obtain a legible copy. Do not sign a completion certificate or make final payment until the job is finished. Remember, Beware of a contractor who shows up unsolicited with a bargain offer and never hire someone on the spot. If you have any further questions or need additional information, please call us at the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. We're located in the municipal building and we are open from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. The telephone number is 390-6954. Thank you for joining me on Consumer Aware. See you again next time.
A public hearing on Store Cable's refranchising in East Brunswick was held in the library on May 31st. Township Director of Consumer Affairs, Adrian Eisner, provided the Township Council and the public with a history of the changes, problems, and improvements that have occurred during the current franchise period. Ms. Eisner explained that the terms of the current agreement expire January 19, 1990. By January 1989, the Township will submit a report regarding Store's performance to date and provide the future cable-related needs of East Brunswick to Store Cable and the Office of Cable Television. Upon receipt of the municipal report, Store will have 90 days to file a municipal consent application which will indicate in detail what the company proposes to provide. The Township Council must conduct public hearings between 60 and 90 days after the consent application is filed. No later than 150 days from the filing, the Council will issue a municipal consent or a resolution to deny renewal. Ms. Eisner detailed results of a survey the Township conducted to determine subscriber satisfaction and revealed rate comparisons between Store and other local cable companies. Speakers included Library Director David Weil and James Sleeve.